Welcome back to Comic Story and Gaming, where we like to go over some fun adventures in our own video games and go over the lores to some of my favorite video game franchises. And today we're going to pick up where we left off by telling you the story of Final Fantasy V. A stale calm has settled over the world. The winds grow weak and King Tycoon leaves his castle and daughter behind to travel to the Wind Crystal. As he arrives, he watches as the crystal shatters and the winds of the world die off. Elsewhere, Bart Klauser continues his life of wandering with his chocobo companion, Boko. He looks up into the sky and he sees a meteorite falling towards the Earth. Moving towards that crash, he discovers Princess Lena of Tycoon Castle fighting hard against a band of goblins. And after defeating the goblins alongside the princess, the two decide to investigate the fallen meteor. They discover an old man who has no memory other than his name, Galuf. Lena informs the two that she is traveling to the Wind Shrine, which Galuf believes was where he was heading. Bart, preferring his life of lone wandering, declines their invitation to join them. He doesn't travel far before Boko convinces him to return to his two new companions, and the three continue to the Wind Shrine as a group. They realize eventually, though, that they will need a ship, but with no wind with which to sail it, they discover a pirate ship that seems to be sailing without wind. And Bart and Galuf decide that it would be easy to steal the ship. Of course, for the sake of a story, the group is captured by the pirates, and Captain Ferris places them in prison. When it is discovered that Lena and Ferris each have the same pendant, the pirate releases his prisoners. He decides to join them on their quest, and he reveals that the pirate ship is pulled by a sea dragon. That's how it moves without the wind. So as they arrive at the Wind Shrine, the group discovers the shattered remains of the Wind Crystal. The shards begin to glow and choose each of the heroes as the 4 Warriors of Light, giving them each the power of one of the 4 essences. King Tycoon appears before them, warning them that great evil is in the land, trying to destroy the remaining crystals. And with this knowledge and their power, the party sets out to protect the crystals. The party travels to the Kingdom of Walls, where the Crystal of Water resides. Along their way, their ship is attacked by Kralabos, which pulls them into a whirlpool. The group defeats this monster, but not before their sea dragon is taken, leaving the ship adrift on the ocean with no wind. The ship ends up drifting into a ship graveyard, and here they discover that Ferris is in fact a woman. This causes the party no issues, though, as they realize why she disguised herself. The night, the party is lulled by a siren who shows them images of what they desire the most. Galuf doesn't recognize the girl who appears before him, though, and snaps out of the trance. He awakens the rest of the party, and together they defeat this monster. After they manage to escape the graveyard, they arrive in the town of Carwin, and they learn that a wind drake has been spotted on the mountain. Traveling up, they discover that it is Lena's wind dragon, Hiru, who has been injured. Lena manages to find some dragon grass, healing her injuries, and the party then returns to Castle Tycoon. There, Lena confronts Ferris, believing them to be sisters, but the pirate captain merely shrugs off these thoughts. The party travels to Walls, where they speak with a king, asking him to stop the machine that they believe is weakening the crystal. Another meteor crashes into Walls Tower, the home of the Wind Crystal, and inside they discover an elephant-like creature known as a Garula. The party defeats Garula, but not before it can shatter the Crystal of Water. Having failed, the party investigates the meteorite that fell out of the sky. Bart is suddenly teleported away, and the party has no choice but to follow. In seconds, they appear at the site of the Karnak meteor. There, they are arrested, as the people of Karnak believe that they are working with a werewolf that also appeared in the meteor. In prison, they meet the inventor of the machines that are weakening the crystals, Sid. They convince the king that they need to be freed, so that Sid can stop his machine before the crystal shatters. The party arrives at the Fire Crystal to discover that the queen has been possessed. Party is forced to fight and defeat her, but not before she manages to shatter the Fire Crystal. With Sid distraught over his inventions destroying the world, he begins to drown his sorrows in the local pub. The party meets his grandson, Mid, who convinces his grandfather to help them. Seeing grandfather and grandson, Galuf suddenly regains his memories and realizes that the girl that the siren showed him is actually his granddaughter. He tells his friends that he is from another world, and he worked with 3 warriors to seal a powerful evil in this world. One of them is the warlock known as X-Death, and Galuf realizes that X-Death has been possessing people to shatter the crystals, thus freeing himself. Sid and Mid fix the Karnak fire-powered ship, and the party head out to search for the last crystal. Along the way, they lose the fire ship and they end up in Bart's hometown. And with no luck, they must return to Sid and Mid, who tell them that the people have reported seeing King Tycoon flying towards the town of Gone. The party finds the king, and it's revealed that Ferris is actually his long-lost daughter, Lena's sister. Lena was right the whole time. The king tricks them, throwing them into a vast pit. Luckily, they're teleported away and they find themselves in the ruins deep beneath the earth. There, they find an airship that Sid fixes, and the party sets out to find the last crystal. The party discovers the crystal in the floating ruins of Ronka, where they confront King Tycoon. The party is then interrupted when another meteor falls, and Kryl, Galuf's granddaughter, bursts forth. She casts a spell, breaking the possession of King Tycoon. Yet the earth crystal shatters, releasing the villain known as X-Death into the world. King Tycoon is forced to sacrifice himself, saving his daughter so that they can escape, and finally Galuf remembers the full story and tells the party how he and his friends, the Dawn Warriors, fought and sealed X-Death in this world. He leaves the party, returning with Kryl to his world to fight X-Death once more. After a time, the rest of the party realize that they must help Galuf defeat X-Death. Sid and Mid build a warp point for our heroes and they all step through. And it's there that they find themselves on an island where they are quickly captured and brought to Castle X-Death. Outside, Galuf and Kryl have gathered an army to attack Castle X-Death. And when the warlock shows that he has the party, Galuf orders his forces to retreat. He takes his daughter's Windrake and he tries to free the group, and they manage to fight their way clear, but they're blown far away when X-Death activates his castle's barrier towers. They find themselves lost, but they manage to meet a group of Moogles that send a message to Kryl, who sends her Windrake to pick them up. And arriving back at the castle, the group discovers that Galuf is a king, and that Bart's father, Drogon, is one of the Dawn Warriors. After they sealed them away, they decided to stay in the other world to protect the seal, to make sure that X-Death would never escape. So the party works alongside the Dawn Warriors to fight against X-Death. Eventually, they confront him at his castle, where they face him, and in his last moments, the warlock destroys the remaining crystals of this world. After the fight, the party awakens once more in Castle Tycoon, where they are celebrated as heroes, and it's revealed that the two worlds have merged. They have been separated to seal the power of the Void, an unknown power that could be used for evil, but without the crystals, the power of the Void was released. The party must now search out 12 weapons that will protect them as they travel into the Rift, a place between the worlds. Gathering the weapons, they are once again attacked by X-Death, who has begun to destroy parts of the world by casting them into the Void, leaving black holes of emptiness where creation once stood. The party flies their airship into the Rift, and in the space between the worlds, the party faces X-Death, who reveals himself to be a Moor tree, a tree used to seal away the spirits of evil once they are corrupted. The spirits of their lost allies aid them, and X-Death is defeated, transforming into his true form, Neo-X-Death, an ancient evil that has been sealed away in the Moor tree. With X-Death finally defeated, the power from within each hero allows the crystals to be reborn into the world, returning the world to balance. A year goes by, and our party has gone their separate ways. Bartz has returned to his life of wandering. Lena returned to rule the kingdom of Tycoon. Ferris gave up her life as a princess and instead returned to her pirate ship. And Kryl returns to her world. Though they have separated, each vows that should the crystals ever need to be protected again, they would return. And that concludes the storyline to Final Fantasy V. Just like all of our other recaps of your favorite storylines and bits of lore within games, it's a quick recap so that you know what happened if somebody goes, well, do you know what happened in Final Fantasy V? We got you covered right here at this channel. Thank you guys so much for supporting us through everything we're doing. There's a lot of changes happening to this channel, and just having you guys still watching the video, still being a part of it, really does mean a lot to me. I'm having a lot of fun making these videos over here again, and I'm excited to see what else we can create. Let me know in the comments down below what other franchises you want us to cover. I'm already working on Resident Evil, Final Fantasy. We're going to be rolling in Resident Evil is another one we're going to put in there, and I'm already looking at stuff like the lore of Fortnite and stuff like that. So let me know what you guys think, and I will talk to you very soon.